Okay, we're back with Bleach. Episode 8. Are you excited,
some more, why don't you?
I thought you said you were going to come up with something different this time. You lied.
I lied.
Well, anyways, this is going to be quite a long one, I imagine, because this is the exposition-heavy episode. And we meet a bunch of new people. So, jump straight into it.
We meet Basil?
Yes. The episode opens with the cleanup of Soul Society getting their shit wrecked, and Squad 4 trying to heal people, including the Cam Clark dude? If anyone's going to ask me to remember this guy's name, you're asking the impossible. We just call him the Cam Clark guy.
He does get a lot of screen time,
Also because of all the fillers, too.
Yeah.
Wait, so they got Cam Clark in for this one scene, but couldn't it be bothered to get him to voice one of the Stern Raiders or be one of the replacements?
This is the only character he's voiced.
Speaking of which, we cut to Hinataro, who's also still Spike Spencer, speaking of surprising things, also healing people. They couldn't double cast him either.
Never have, never will.
Anyway, as we see Isane asking Unohana if it was the right thing to do for Squad 4 to hide in their barracks, more or less, during this whole ordeal. As Unohana more or less explains that this is where they needed to stay. That way, after the fight, they'd be able to heal people. Otherwise, they'd be even more fucked. But who would have thought the final orders of Yamamoto
No
would be
use of a medic corps if your medics are dead.
Yeah, and she's like, I never would have thought, though, his final orders would be for us to stay out of the fighting. Who would have thought, man? Well, cut to Ichigo as he's in the Squad 4 area, and he hears from a generic person, Kun, that his friends in Hueco Mundo are all okay. So we hear Ikaku shouting in the background, there's no way Kenpachi is hurt! He could never lose! He's the captain! Oh, he needs to make some zombie noises. Holy shit, dog.
What?
Nothing. Sounds like you're gorging yourself over there, man. Are you okay?
What? I was taking a drink.
I know.
I mean, I was drinking some bleach.
Sounds like you were dying of thirst, man. Anyway. Yeah, but hey, at least we know Kenpachi's okay. Seems like he's in critical condition, but he's alright. Hinataro demands Ichigo gets to help too, and Ichigo's like, but my injuries are nothing, I'm alright.
Nothing at all.
And say goodbye to Hinataro, he's gone after this scene. Yeah, they got Spike in just for that, but hey, at least it means good things for Bungo Stray Dogs Season 4, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we have that in January too. Man, January's looking stacked, man. Anyway. But upon hearing in the background that Rukia and Renji are out of surgery, Ichigo goes and visits Rukia!
Rukia actually has speaking lines.
Yeah. They have their typical
Despite
banter.
being one of the first person announced.
Dude, she's literally listed as the second main right below Johnny on Bosch, too. She's listed above everyone else.
And you know that makes sense. If this was the substitute Soul Reaper.
Yeah. Well, they have their usual banter where Ichigo's like, are you sure it's okay for you to be talking? She's like, idiot, they said I was stable. What do you think that means?
You're a horse? Oh. Never mind.
Well, she thanks Ichigo for coming to help out, and he's like, I didn't really do much. As Shinji was there now, and... Okay, yeah, we gotta talk about it. Alex was miscast here, again, and if anyone's gonna think we're bullying Alex over here, just wait till the next Dubster dive. We'll be praising him again. But seriously, as Shinji and Ukitake, this just does not work.
Yeah...
He doesn't pull off the laid-back, smart-ass character as well here. So, I don't know. And we're about to get really stupid with the double casting in a second. But first, Shinji tells you... What's up?
Shinji, there's something behind you. An ad voice that sounds just like you.
That's in a second. Because Shinji calls Ichigo an idiot, saying things would have been much worse if he wasn't there. And that's when an Alex Lee guard rushes in, saying that Mayuri needs to talk to Ichigo about his Zanpakuto. So, yeah, don't worry, it's about to get peak stupid in a second. As Ichigo leaves, Rukia and Shinji talk about how they noticed something seemed off about Ichigo, and it wasn't the fact he felt helpless. There's something on his mind. Which, I mean, yeah, probably the fact he found out he's half Quincy. I don't know. Cut to Ukitake. Yes, we had Alex interrupting Alex as we cut to a scene in the captain's meeting with Alex. God. This reminds me of Platinum End. Just with a better dub. Well, anyway, Ukitake and them are talking about the other...
actual animation.
Yeah, that well, but the Soul Society's fucked. As a Patrick Seitz guard is reporting that Kenpachi and Byakuya are both alive. Oh, gotta talk about that too, huh? But in critical condition. Okay, so yeah, here we go. The divisiveness in the fandom about Byakuya's survival. Some people thought he should have died here, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm among those people. His character arc was actually complete. What?
Especially with one of the fights that's coming up later.
Yeah, the speech he gave last episode to Ichigo and everything, and even saying like he leaves everything to him, the person he saw as one of his mortal enemies at the start of the show has come full circle. Now he's relying on him for help and swallowing his pride and everything, and realizing he can leave Renji and Rukia to him. But he survived, kind of making that feel cheap and pointless. Now, I remember when this manga chapter came out, when he was presumed he was dead, and everyone raged a bitch fit about it, so... Shadow the Hedgehog. That's more or less how you put it, right, Dai?
Yeah, character way too popular, so they brought them back.
That's more or less what it seems like here. And keep in mind, guys, I'm saying this is Byakuya's...
Then again, that was different. They had no idea how his reception was going to be, so they decided, let's kill him off in the end.
Yeah. Similar situations, though. And guys, I'm saying that Byakuya is one of my favorite characters, and I feel this would have been a perfect point to end his character off. It would have made the most sense. But no, he survived, so... Oh well. At least we'll get more Byakuya, I guess. We'll get more Dan! Back to the meeting, though. Soifone yells at the Patrick Seitz guard, saying, haven't they had enough bad news as it is? How's it this dude's fault? As Kensei speaks up, voiced by Aaron LaPlante this time, Rock Bison from Tiger and Bunny Season 2, and White Zetsu from Boruto, telling her to get a grip and calm the hell down. And, I mean, I guess his Kensei's okay. Kensei was one who didn't really talk as much in the first place. Yeah. So it's all good. Dave Mallow retired, so this is one that replacement that makes sense. We knew this one was coming. Well, before her and Kensei can argue, Kumamura shouts at her to stop. That it's time
Don't open that door.
That she's not the only one hurting about this. And Chris Wendell actually does a really good job here as Kumamura. It's one of those where I don't think
if you were casual, you wouldn't notice.
Yeah, this is probably one of the perfect
wouldn't notice any of his changes.
The fact that Kumamura's had
like,
3
wait
voice
a minute,
actors.
he changed 3 times?
Yeah, man, it's fucking great. Well, as Kumamura put her in her place, Shunsui calms everyone down, saying that old man Yama wouldn't want this. As the squads aren't here to mourn the Soul Society, they're here to protect it. So it's time that they actually start moving forward. I think Shunsui would make, good head captain if they had to pick one. I'm just saying, if they have to pick a new replacement. Anyway, cut to Ichigo and Mayuri. But Ichigo's told that, for a Soul Reaper to fix a Zanpakuto, they have to go into their inner recesses of their mind and soul to fix a Shikai. But a broken Bankai can't be repaired. It's next to impossible. And this is where they actually cut some stuff from the anime. This is probably the major cut, honestly, from this episode. He gives several examples, like Renji's Bankai never being repaired after Byakuya broke the 3 things on it. You know, the links or whatever. And also how Ikkaku's Bankai was damaged, confirming that, yeah, more or less everyone already knew about Ikkaku's Bankai. They were just playing along with it. But yeah, when Ikkaku's Bankai was damaged, Mayuri confirms it was much weaker after that point. So even if Ikkaku had gone Bankai during the invasion, probably wouldn't have helped much. Also because it would have been stolen. But yeah. Anyway, Mayuri gets a call during this, though, as Cone rushes out from the background. What the fuck is he doing in Soul Society? Also, I don't have to yell at Studiopolis because they got Quentin Flynn back, and I'm really surprised about that.
Especially when Cone's probably gonna fuck off after this episode.
For a little bit, I think so. But yeah.
Not like there's an illustrated guide to Soul Reapers anymore.
I know, and that makes me sad, man. Cone is awesome. Who doesn't love Cone? Well, Mayuri gets off his call and tells Ichigo that Squad Zero are arriving. As we cut to the captains and Ichigo getting ready to greet them. Ichigo wonders where they were this whole time, and Shunsui brings up the point that their main thing is to guard the Royal Palace and the Soul King, the god of the Bleach universe. He also explains that the walls that fell when Ichigo and his friends first arrived, or that fell around the Seirete, are still there for some reason, even though they're only meant for emergency times, instead of rising back up into the sky to protect the Soul Palace. So even he's perplexed about this. Don't worry, there's lots more exposition to Seth. Squad Zero are here, though, Dai! They arrive in the... Actually, I don't even know what the fuck this vehicle thing is. It's called the Tenjurin, though. What the hell is this thing, Dai?
It's like a pillar they ride inside of.
So it's a flying bus pillar thing?
Yeah, like General Tao.
Oh, that's fucking cool, actually.
Except they don't stand on it.
Yeah. Shunsui explains that there are only 5 members of Squad Zero, and all 5 of them are captains, and the squad together are stronger than the entirety of the 13 guard squads. As we meet them, and they're all incredibly silly, actually. You know Bleach's humor by now. They hype up people as badasses, and then a lot of them turn out to be comedic and over-the-top silly.
Honestly, it comes across as confusing after had they cut out all the humor beforehand.
Yeah, well, we are in a cooldown episode, so it makes sense to have more comedic shit this episode, I guess. So let's go over them. First, we have Ichibei, the captain of the squad, voiced by Aaron LaPlante again, but at least he's doing a somewhat different voice. Yeah. Then we have Kiryu. She's a fat chick, and she knows Shinji. That's basically all we know about her so far. She's voiced by Tara Sands, Best Girl Yuka from I'm Standing on a Million Lives, and Best Girl Bisky from Hunter x Hunter. Fight me! Don't bring up the Hulk form, Dai, or I'll slap you.
Exactly. He really he really likes people who look like Broly.
No, it's ma'am. Anyway, she's doing fine as Kiryu, I guess. And yeah, Shinji's like, wait a minute, what? You've changed a lot. Funny, he says that when his voice is the thing that's changed a lot here, but whatever. One of the other members is Tenjiro, which I keep wanting to call him Tanjiro because of fucking Demon Slayer. Voiced by Mick Lauer. You all know, Ludus' voice actor. That Iran car that got murked in the second episode. He asks Unohana...
So you probably don't know?
Yeah. He asks Unohana if she's been using the healing techniques he taught her. So she learned all of her shit from him, basically. Ichibei tells Shunsui that the Soul King has ordered them come down to help rebuild Soul Society, and also they need Ichigo. So, yeah. Soy Phone, angry, demands why weren't they there during the fight? That they could have helped out the invasion, but now they're here afterwards? And this is where Tenjiro brings up the point, putting her back in her place again, saying that Squad Zero's job is to protect the palace, while Squads 1 through 13 are meant to protect the Seirete. Don't get pissed off and cry about it just because they suck at their job, is more or less how he puts it.
Do your damn job.
Yeah. She doesn't really have a retort for that. As our next member of the Squad Zero, Senjimaru, arrives, with the spheres holding Rukia, Renji, and Byakuya. She's voiced by Jeannie Torado, which means they didn't get her just for Holly Bell. That would have been weird if they did.
Just for one sentence.
Yeah.
If that.
She's doing a different voice I don't hear her usually do for this character, too. So... Oh, I should mention, Senjimaru is the one from Squad 12 that they talked about in the Pendulum arc that got promoted, by the way, to the Royal Palace or whatever. Showing that, yeah, Squad Zero shit is not an ass pull if anyone thought it was. But yeah, Unohana's like, is it safe to move them or whatever? And Tenjiro's like, oh, don't worry. We're moving them to the Soul Palace because it's more equipped to heal them. If they stay in the Seirete, they'd probably die. Besides,
and then they died.
Besides, Unohana, you need to focus on something way more important. I wonder if that's foreshadowing for the next episode.
Nah, that'd be silly.
But yeah. But at least you get Senjimaru calling Mayuri's security pathetic, though, saying that she was able to just waltz right into his lab. And makes Mayuri shut up for a minute. But it's time for a phone call die from Cone! Cone's head opens up as Urahara calls in.
Yeah.
Cone's always getting abused.
That's what he signed up for.
Urahara assures Ichigo that everyone's fine, as we hear a voice in the background going like, wait, is that Ichigo? And it's David Vincent's voice, and okay, yeah, it's fucking Grimmjow. Yeah, Grimmjow was the one who cut Kilgay in half. I don't think they show him, but it's announced on the cast list to be Grimmjow, and it's fucking obvious. What other David Vincent?
They show his torso.
Yeah, you all know who it is. Which,
No, it could be a totally different David Vincent.
Who's mad at Ichigo and calls him a bastard?
Yes.
Yeah,
there are plenty of those. You know, like that one, so-and-so.
Well, this is a role that made me really start liking David Vincent as of so I'm happy he's back in as it. So, Ichigo recognizes the voice of, like, that voice. No! It couldn't be! But before it could continue, Orihime and Chad hold him back, and what the fuck were they doing in this scene in the background?
Well, Orihime was throwing confetti at him?
Yeah, just shouting yay, and as he was, and Grimmjow was like, what? Stop it! No!
And Chad was shaking maracas for some reason.
Oh, that scene was really silly. I'm all for it. Again, we needed a silly cooldown episode after all the shit and death for the last 7. That's why the comedy being here I'm fine with. But yeah.
Because we're probably just gonna go back to more shit and death. Wait, what?
Yeah, we kind of are. So, I mean, we're in the middle of a war. Well, Urahara tells Ichigo that, he's like, don't worry about that dude you heard of. We came to an arrangement, so he's on our side. Oh, and your friends are cool too, so you could focus on whatever. And then he hangs up the call. Ichibei tells Ichigo that they can't repair his Zanpakuto, but they can reforge it into something sexier. So...
Simpler? Close enough?
Sexy. Cut to another longtime character, Kukaku, as she launches Ichigo and them off. And this is where it's revealed that Ishin, Ichigo's daddy, is her and Ganju's uncle. So yes, Ichigo is their cousin. Which might explain why they were saying Ichigo reminded them of Kyan. Speaking of replacements, Kyan's going to get replaced if they ever do a flashback of him again, isn't he?
With how often they do that, he's definitely replaced.
Well, we also see here that Ganju is training 3 Fullbringers. So, we have Ginjo, now voiced by Chris Swindle, and I actually think he's doing a really good job, even though Ginjo only says 1 line. I think he's a good fit for him. Yeah. Man, Chris Swindle's actually racking up replacement roles. But, yeah, this and Kumamura are probably the best. Kutsuzawa, the Time Man, and if you're going to ask, did I have to look up his name before this? Yes, I did.
Yes.
I am not ashamed to admit that. You think I'm going to remember him outside of Time Man? Who's still Michael Soaridge, and Tsukishima, who didn't talk. But that, you know what that means? Tsukishima is our friend.
Oh, he's not. He needs to go away. Or that just means they could have just got Mount Mercer as Shinji instead.
He would have actually been a perfect replacement. He sounds close enough to Roger. Well, Ganju states he'll be joining the next fight with these guys, so it looks like the Fullbringers are here to stay. Oh, yeah. Anyway, Ichigo and Squad Zero arrive at the Soul Palace. As Ichibei explains, the Soul Reapers aren't normally allowed here, but there's nothing normal about Ichigo, is there? I mean, yeah, he's half Quincy, part Fullbringer, part Visor. Ichigo's a fucking mutt, alright?
Part Bell.
Ichigo asks, so he's like, wait, how are we allowed to be here? I thought you needed the Oken that Key Aizen wanted to make in order to enter. And that's when it's explained that the Soul King turned the Oken and merged it into the bones of the members of Squad Zero. So the only way to be invited into the palace is by a Squad Zero member, or you have to come along with them. As he explains, Aizen wanted to make an imitation of the key in order to enter it. That's when Senjimaru comments saying that, yeah, Aizen was an evil fuck, but the Quincy's are way more evil.
They're Nazis after all.
I know. Well, as they enter, Kiryu explains that the 5 disc-like structures surrounding the Soul Palace are each the castle of a member of Squad Zero, as Tenjiro takes Ichigo and the injured people to his place. Okay, we're almost done with all the exposition and the episode. So, the hot springs here, there's 2 of them. There's the White Bone Hell Spring, which draws out damaged blood and spiritual pressure, and then it's replenished in the Blood Pond Hell Spring, which I hear is incredibly hot. So Byakuya basically is thrown in there to use as the example, with more comedic shit. Oh. Some of the stuff that was cut from the manga here is Tenjiro explaining how Urahara analyzed this spring in order to make his imitation of it in the Soul Society. Remember the healing spring Ichigo used with Yoruichi back when he trained? I don't know why they cut that, man. It seems like important information. I mean, hi.
Hi.
Shh. Also, funnily enough, Rukia fans were mad at this episode. They cut her fan service out in the hot spring. Yeah, they've been cutting a lot of fan service, actually. They cut out the Hiyori and Lisa towel scene from the first episode. You motherfuckers, Bill, we want fan service! Anyway, yeah, so after that, the episode ends as Tenjiro says to Ichigo, 1 night in the spring will be enough. Then he'll come back twice as new. Except the episode's not over! We have a post-credit scene, Dai!
Oh no.
As the Soul King has awakened!
Unzip.
And unlike Zeno, who's the god of everything in the Dragon Ball universe, I don't want to punch the Soul King.
Is it because they're not obnoxious, annoying, insufferable?
Yes. And the preview is by Kenpachi. So, yeah. Anyway.
You want the pirate in here.
Damn it. Oh, Cervantes.
What? He voices pirates a lot.
He does. So yeah, thoughts on the episode. Okay, some of the cut stuff was a little much, but I still think it's good. Still a good episode. We got all the exposition out of the way, and it was a nice cooldown episode, which we needed after all that shit. And again, I guess the cut stuff isn't 100% mandatory or necessary to understand what's going on. You still get the point that Ichigo's Bankai is fucked, and all that stuff. Oh. Still thought it was a good episode. And coming up next, we get some hype shit, Dai!
Really?
Yeah. And as far as the dub goes, I mean, I'm surprised they got a couple of people back, Quentin and Spike especially. Those were two I thought was sure going to be replaced, but lo and behold, no. And, yeah. So far, the only replacement I think is sort of a miss is Shinji's and Ukitake's. That's not Alex's fault, though. That's just miscasting fault. Did you like the episode, Dai?
It was an episode like any other, except that it ended.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's gonna do it for this long expository episode. And we met Squad Zero, and Squad Zero are fucking cool. Who doesn't like Squad Zero? Who doesn't have a waifu in Squad Zero? Dai, you waifu'd Senjimaru, right?
Excuse me?
You didn't waifu her? But why? She's seems like your friend.
I don't waifu everything that moves.
Yeah, well, you should! Come on, waifu everything! Then again, I wonder how many people out there waifu Kiryu. But alright, we've rambled long enough.
Weird people out there.
It's the internet. I'm sure everyone's waifu'd someone. I don't know. But yeah. So, thanks again for joining us for this episode of Bleach. Let us know what you all thought. Oh, this episode, again, was still fun. Nice to see some comedy and levity back after all the serious shit, you know?
For cereal?
For cereal! But yeah. Coming up, we get one of my favorite parts of the early part of this arc in the manga, so it'll be cool. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you all have yourselves a great day, and we'll be back. Till next time. Tsukishima is my friend.